Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with an on-the-fly review for you. Today I'm talking about Harriet, released late last month, directed by Cassie Lemons, and starring Cynthia Erivo, uh, Janelle Monáe, Joe Alwyn, and Jennifer Nettles. Um, this is the first film ever, I believe, based on American icon Harriet Tubman, American hero Harriet Tubman. Uh, Now, you know, I don't know why I should do how a film against biopic. If you know about Harriet Tubman, the whole she's most famous for being she was born in slavery. She escaped slavery. She went on multiple missions, over a dozen, going back into hostile territories to save more slaves. She rescued dozens of people, 70 people or more. She's a hero, taking people up to Canada after the Fugitive Slave Act in 1850. So, now, I had problems with this film, but I am still going to give it 3 stars. The reason I wanted to see the film anyways, because ever since I was a kid, I've admired Harriet Tubman. I thought she was a great hero, and always thought they should make a movie about her. I even support the thought of putting her on the $20 bill. I don't know. There's already people like Hamilton and Benjamin Franklin who are never present on money, so why not Harriet Tubman? I don't know why should necessarily be the $20 bill. Why don't we make some fresh currency, maybe a $25 bill or something like that? I don't know. Anyhow, now what we know for sure about the details of her life, we know that she suffered a head injury at a young age that caused the visions that she believed were, visions, premonitions from God. She was, a very, very strong, devout Methodist. She of course, is probably the most famous member of the Underground Railroad, which did also involve men like William Seward, Frederick Douglass, and John Brown, the notorious John Brown. But, the stuff like... I felt like this movie was far too... almost gave me like this whiplash effect. It was just under 2 hours long, and they had a 3-hour movie here. It's just like, breakneck pace, no time to take anything, no fucking character development for anyone else in the film. William Still is probably the most important secondary character in the film, and he's just really just kind of there when Harriet needs him, doesn't got his own thing going on. And quite frankly, I would have preferred more of the actual, and I do appreciate the mythos and the mythology, and bring out the legend, almost old school Hollywood kind of way of doing the film. But I would like to see more of the real instance, the real details, her involvement with Harper's Ferry, as well as, the movie ends during the Civil War. We jump years ahead, and you see her leading the Kamehameha Ferry soldiers, where they rescued 700 slaves. And that's just a throwaway, quick moment where, like, freeze frame kind of shit towards the end. And all this historic, interesting shit is just kind of like skimmed right over for the sake of diving into this completely fictitious rivalry she has with a plantation owner in the film. This guy who wasn't a real dude. There are probably dudes who did various things like this along the lines in her life, but this dude wasn't real. And spending so much time, so much character in a movie that's already, seems to be sparse on its resources as far as time and with budget and stuff like that. I just think Harriet deserved better. I'm still gonna, like I said, gonna give the movie 3 stars, but between it being far too rushed and a sense of TV movie about it, it was a disappointment. However, I would recommend Cassie Lemon's other films. Eve's Bayou was a critically acclaimed movie. The Caveman's Valentine is a fucking absolute gem. If you've never seen it, it's about Samuel L. Jackson plays a homeless schizophrenic who gets caught up in a murder mystery involving the high society of New York. But this was a bit of a disappointment. I did think Cynthia Erivo was very good in it. She was also very good in Bad Times at El Royale. But ultimately, This movie just kind of felt blah, which was a shame because they had a hell of a subject to work with. It's, I don't know, maybe they needed more money. Maybe they needed, if like, they would have a real producer get involved, like, somebody who could just throw millions of dollars into a project, something like a Spielberg. Just as producer, but, yeah, it was a disappointment. I was really looking forward to seeing this movie. Even though I didn't completely hate it, I thought it was far, 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 far from what it could have been. Anyhow, hope y'all like this video, or not. I probably pissed somebody off just because I didn't like a movie about Harriet Tubman. Anyhow, I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.